Okay, so we're going to look in back of us. We're going to make sure no one's back there. Master on, clear prop. Glass panel on, comm radio on, strobe on, transponder. So
I have this discussion with my son all the time about how he knows that somebody isn't out there. I mean, you know, you're always looking.
yeah, you're always looking, and sometimes they are out there, and they're not talking to you. And here is we're in our run-up area, and we're going to do some final safety checks here, warm up our engine. So here's our engine RPM. So we're bringing that up to about 35, 4,000. Somewhere in that vicinity, 3,800. We're going to go ahead and we're on both ignition systems. We're going to go to 1. Okay, see how there's a little drop? Go back to both.
So you say 2 ignition systems. Is that a backup or a...
Exactly. There's 2 completely separate. They both work at the same time.
Okay.
But if one fails,
the other one keeps working.
The other one keeps going. Just another, and most aircraft engines have that reliability built into them. And what we're doing now, we can see our temperature. See how our water temperature here is 142.
Right.
We want that to get to 145. Otherwise, what we just say is heard just by us and on the recorder. So it's recording everything here. Okay. So what we're doing is we're looking out here for any other aircraft. Kind of scanning the sky here. Okay, now I've got the controls, so you go ahead and let go.
Okay.
Anytime I say I have the controls, you release and you give me the controls.
Okay.
Okay? We're looking down here, make sure no one's taking off the wrong direction. Looks good. Carson traffic, light sport trike entering runway 27 for takeoff, Carson. There's our airspeed right here. See that?
Let me look there. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to rotate, and off we go. I'm going to release the throttle here a little bit so we can go by and say hi to your wife. There we go. We can wave at them. And off we go.
What's the maximum airspeed this will go?
What's that?
What's the maximum airspeed?
Maximum airspeed for this is 80.
Okay.
And we'll do that once we get up higher. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to be flying at our best climb rate speed, which is 50 miles an hour. That rising air. See, when the sun heats the ground, the air rises,
right?
And every once in a while we find one of those little pockets of rising air. And now we're 8,000 feet. See, now our climb rate's down to about 200 foot per minute because we're at a higher altitude here.
Exactly.
There we go. So now this is right over, here we are right over Snow Peak. Now you can see Marlette Lake up there. Have you ever been up to Marlette Lake?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I've hiked up the Star Run Trail.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can see our shadow down there. So we're going about 70 miles an hour over the ground right now. We're actually at about a 14 mile an hour tailwind here. circle here, and then we're gonna like cut the engine and glide on down to Washoe Valley.
Okay. How many times have you been up here doing this?
What's that?
How many times have you taken this trip?
Oh boy, that's a good question. At least hundreds.
Yeah. You ever get people that get in this thing and they get freaked out?
Yeah, a couple.
Or they just want to get down immediately?
Yeah, so I you know, bring them around, land them. Other people are kind of nervous, but they go on, and after about 20 minutes, they feel comfortable.
Right.
It just takes.
I think you have to adjust your brain to the fact that you can't just fall out.
Exactly.
You sort of get a little bit, if you're afraid of heights and you don't trust mechanical devices, you sort of feel like you don't know why this thing's in the air. What's the fastest you've ever had this thing?
What's that?
What's the fastest airspeed you've ever taken this?
Well, this thing, you know, red line's at 82.
Right.
So that's I just bring it up to red line every once in a while, and that's fast. Now I'm getting another one that's going to red line at like at 120. Just a smaller wing.
You mean like the red line is determined by the airfoil?
Yeah, the structural limits.
Right. I've camped a couple times over there on East Washoe there, you know, that campground.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, over there. I mean, it's not too many people camp there, but it's actually, they've improved it a little bit.
Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down, and we're going to skim right along the ground here. You okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Got a little wind down here, so...
I think what happens is if you do this more and more, you start getting a little more comfortable with it. You just...
Oh, yeah.
I think the part that's a little weird is hanging out in the air and it feels like there's nothing to grab onto exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get this down nice and low here. This is one of the things people really enjoy, is kind of skimming along here like the Star Wars.
Right. Now this is slightly dangerous in this, right? Because if you all of a sudden had to touch down at this speed, it'd be pretty rough, right?
Well, no, it would be just like landing.
As long as the ground doesn't break your landing gear off.
Yeah, as long as it's good ground. I mean, out here, there's pretty good...
Pretty solid.
Yeah, pretty solid stuff. Okay, now we go northwest, inbound, Carson. See how we got above the...
Yep.
Got above all that, so it's reasonably smooth up here. That's a pretty good wind, you know, I mean, it's a pretty good wind, maybe 8-10 there on Washoe.
Right. I think like tomorrow they're saying there'll be a 22-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, tomorrow's supposed to be windy on Niner.
So now, I see that 9 and 27 are the same runway. It just depends which direction you're going.
Yeah, because see, that 9 means 90 degrees magnetic.
Okay.
27 degrees magnetic.
Right, so if someone says they're coming in on 9 and someone says they're coming in on 27, you got a problem, right?
Yeah, that's a problem. See, I don't see that windsock at all doing anything down there, so we're going to go ahead and...
He's right below us right now.
Yeah, I can see him. We're going to go to 27. Carson traffic, light sport Trike. We just crossed over midfield. We'll do a left traffic 27 Carson.
You got to hope them.
Yeah, just flying down the runway here, so we don't have to taxi quite so far. Yeah. There we go. Not too bad.
All right, no, that was good.
Not the most graceful, but not really hard.
He's only 29 years old.
Oh,
so
yeah. Well, this is, I mean, I got a lot of people who do both. Okay. So We're going to go ahead and transponder off, strobe, glass panel. Okay, so just hold right there. You can put your face shield up, take your gloves off if you'd like.
Okay.
And then I'll get out and I'll help you out. Get you out of here.